Hey guys, it's Sarah and I'm back today with some reviews of my January reads. I wasn't going to make a video just exclusively for stuff that I read in January because I felt like I didn't finish that many books, and then I looked at Goodreads and I realized that I finished a lot of books actually in January. Don't know how that happened, but it did. So let's get going. The first book that I finished in January was Modern Romance by Aziz Ansari. And this is a nonfiction book about modern romance and finding love in the modern times using computers and modern technology, and how we kind of navigate that and how that differs from how people found love and relationships in the olden days. Not the olden days, but like, the past. It was a little bit stressful because I felt like I'm single right now, and I've been single for a very long time. And I just felt like it left me a little bit hopeless with how modern technology has changed things and how maybe things aren't so great, but I feel like there is give and take obviously for every situation, and now you can find people from a lot different locations where in the past you were kind of stuck with the people in your vicinity, in your near like neighborhoods, apartment buildings, cities at least. So yeah, there's that. At least we have a wider choice, but I feel like the book emphasized, when there's more choice, not always a good thing. This book was okay. I just didn't want to like keep going with things a lot of times. It kind of dragged at certain times. It wasn't that it was boring. It was just kind of maybe not what I wanted to read all the time when I was trying to read it. But we are talking about this book for February's Books and Brewskis book haul, for Books and Brewskis book club meeting. So I'm excited to kind of chit chat with other people about it and see kind of what their take was. There are quite a few like people from different generations in my book club, so I'm excited to get like that perspective as well. It's always nice to hear people that are older than you, people that are already in relationships, people who are single, whatever. I don't have a desk cover for this, but it's Flight Behavior by Barbara Kingsolver. I finished this at the beginning of the month as well, and this is a fictional book about global warming, pretty much. About this woman who discovers a bunch of butterflies on her, I want to say farm, it's not a farm, it's a ranch. Anyways, on her ranch, and like this forest, and then there's a lot of chat about how to get people to believe in global warming, I guess is what I want to say, and whether global warming is actually a thing, and science versus religion, or like science versus kind of not old world thinking, but science versus people who are in the country who kind of are stuck in their ways. And I mean, obviously farmers and ranchers have a lot to do with the environment, and their jobs have a lot to do with the environment, and so it's kind of an interesting perspective on that. I gave Modern Romance 3 stars. I gave this one 3 stars. It wasn't a great start to the month of January, that's for sure. It wasn't that it was a bad book. It was really interesting to read about. It just, one reason or another, maybe it was just a bad time for me to read it. I don't know. The next book that I read was Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews, and I read this as an ebook as well. I had previously seen the movie of this, and I actually liked the movie better than I liked reading the book. There were things that translated better in movie form, the storytelling elements of it, than it did in the book, because Greg he's very sarcastic, and he has a very set humor, and part of me felt like there was a lot of negativity, and with the way he was like oh, why are you reading this book? Why are you here? I was like, well, why am I reading this book? Um, it, it didn't make me want to keep reading. And I kept reading because I really, really love the movie. And I'm usually like all for sarcasm and like really like that kind of humor. Um, he has a cat named Cat Stevens, and that's literally like oh, it's the funniest thing ever. It makes me laugh just thinking about it. But like, I don't know. I don't know what it was about the book. I didn't really like it all that much. I don't know what to tell you. um, and I'm not saying it was bad, because it wasn't bad. I just felt like a lot of, like, I was expecting it to be as good as the movie was, and it wasn't. Hands down. So the next book that I finished, I listened to an audiobook, and that was The Girl on the Train, which was, like, majorly hyped last year. It's becoming a movie. I feel like everyone's read it. I'm really glad that I listened to this in an audiobook and I didn't actually read it. Not a whole lot happened from like the first 3/4 of the book. I don't know. I mean, it was suspenseful and it kept you like questioning things and like, I don't know, wanting to know what was going on, because I felt like so many people liked it. I was like, well, what's so good about this book? But even at the conflict, the end, I wasn't super impressed. I don't know. Guys, I don't think January is my month in reading, maybe. Like, I guess I was let down by a lot of books. I didn't realize this, but I had a little vent here now. And now that I'm talking about them, I just felt like there was a lot of problematic books. Booktube and like reading in general, like reading more books in general has made me more critical of books. Because when I started rating books, when I joined Goodreads and stuff, a lot of my books were like 4 and 5-star books, and I started giving books 3 stars, and then like a ton of books now I give 3 stars to, because they're just like mediocre books. They're not bad books. 3 stars is not a bad book. It's not like I disliked any of these books. I want to make that clear. All these books I'm talking about I liked for different reasons. They just weren't like super, super great books, or like things that I loved and that I would recommend to people. Maybe I would recommend them to certain people or for various reasons to certain people, but not like, go read this book, everyone. Yeah. The next book, also like not a favorite, but maybe slightly better than the rest of them. A Spool of Blue Thread by Anne Tyler. This is another Man Booker Prize long list. I don't think it made the short list. Long list book. Go check out like Lauren at Reads and Daydreams. She loved this book. Anyways, this book was good. It was really well written. I liked the style of the book. It follows a family in this house and it goes back several generations. It's kind of the opposite of Middlesex, I want to say. So Middlesex started at like the beginning with the first generation and then it went all the way through. Middlesex, if you want to read a generational book, go read Middlesex. I loved it a lot better than this book. Spool of Blue Thread did the opposite thing. So it started with like the younger generation and then peeled back each generation before that, and kind of like the secrets or the questions that the one generation has about the next generation get sort of revealed as the book goes through. So in that part, it is really interesting. I did like the writing style. I don't know what it was. Maybe I read it at the wrong time. Maybe I was just like in a very critical mood this month. Like I said, I don't know, guys. I think I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars because it was good, and I was into it for like most of the book, and then I got to the last generation, and there's stuff like, just weird stuff that happened with the, like, grandparent people. And I just didn't, I wasn't into it, guys. It really bugged me. Something about it bugged me. And that's hard to say because there's a thing in Middlesex that should have bothered me probably in the way this bothered me. But it didn't. Like, there was something about it that I was, like, totally not as bothered by. But this really bugged me. I think it's hard, like, I don't want to spoil the thing, but it really, like, I don't know, it made the book, like, weird for me. It weirded me out. So there's that. Moving on. The last book I want to talk about is The Grace Keepers by Kirsty Logan. And this book was, I don't remember if I gave this a 5 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5. I feel like I gave this a 4 out of 5. It was a slow pace for me. I mean, the book's really not that long. And quite a bit happens. It's just, like, when I look back, not that much happens. That doesn't make sense. I know that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. This was good. If you like books like The Night Circus, this reminded me a lot of The Night Circus. Not because they're both about circuses, but because like, the visuals that you get in this book is really gorgeous. Like, just, I mean, not only the cover is gorgeous, but, like, the book inside, her writing style is beautiful, the prose are beautiful. Just the world that she creates is really gorgeous, and that's what I loved about this book, and that's what made me, like, really love this book, more so than maybe the story. Like I said, the story was good. I should have probably, I felt like I gave these books a lot of thought before I started filming, but I don't know. I don't know, guys. I feel like, whatever. We're gonna end this and move on to February. Alright, that's everything that I read in January. Hopefully this video isn't too long, and I will see you guys next time. If you've read any of these, please let me know what your thoughts are. If you had similar thoughts, if you had totally different thoughts, let me know in the comments. You can find my other links below, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, guys.